Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the brand new Air Jordan 35. Before we get into it, I just want to thank you all. I recently hit 10,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you all enough. I wouldn't be here without you all. And yeah, so continue to subscribe if you do enjoy videos just like this. According to the analytics, majority of the viewers on my videos aren't subscribers, and that's like over 90% of you aren't subscribed. So please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, because I'm constantly putting out more content for you all. There's nothing really much else to add to that. I just want to thank you all so much. 10,000 subscribers is a huge milestone for me, and I never thought I'd be here, but let's keep it going. As always, starting off with the traction, the Jordan 35 features a multi-directional herringbone traction pattern that's pretty much throughout the whole traction of the shoe, and the traction for the most part is really nice. If you guys are playing on your above average to clean courts, you guys won't have any problems. You'll be able to stop on a dime, make all the movements that you want without any hesitation. But the problem is when it comes to dust, this traction does actually pick up dust, and the dust can sometimes get stuck in between the grooves, or just stuck onto the traction pattern itself, depending on how much dust there really is on your court. So you will have to wipe in order to maintain that traction, because if you don't, you will probably slide to a stop, and that's definitely not what you want. And I'm only going to guess that if you don't wipe and you just let the dust continue to build up, you're gonna slip, and that's never fun. So yeah, just make sure you all are wiping if you are playing on your dustier courts. But on above average to really clean courts, the bite is phenomenal and the traction is insane. So for those of you that are playing on those dusty courts, just keep in mind you have to wipe in order to maintain that traction. Everyone else, you should be good to go. So moving on to the cushion, the Jordan 35 features a 4-foot zoom unit and a heel zoom unit, and I believe the zoom unit in the heel is much larger than what was featured in the Jordan 34. And the zoom units are really nice. Up in the 4-foot, you have a lot of bounce. Exactly what Zoom Air is supposed to feel like is what you get in the 4-foot. Very bouncy, very responsive, but it just feels really nice. And it really gives you that extra pep in your step, I guess. But in the heel, it's also really nice as well. Predominantly, I don't play on my heel that much, so I definitely like the 4-foot cushion. The 4-foot zoom unit is really nice. I can't really, reinforce that enough, how nice the cushion setup in this shoe actually is. If you all like zoom in your shoes, this has definitely got you covered. The implementation of the zoom units in the 4-foot and the heel are awesome. I really can't complain. So moving on to the materials. On the Jordan 35, they changed it up from the Jordan 34. On the 35, they're definitely using a mixture of, old school and new school materials. You do have your meshes and your synthetic overlays and whatnot here and there, but you also have these very nice, I think these are nubuck, and these nubuck panels are really smooth, very premium feeling. Like, you can see the texture when you rub your finger across it. It's really nice, and that wraps up onto the back portion of the shoe as well. Outside of that, you do have some mesh, some foam back mesh, and then you also have this flight wire, and underneath the flight wire is Curum, and the material usage on the shoe is just really nice. It definitely pays homage to, I guess the Jordan 35 in terms of materials and styling as well. I don't know if you all know this, but the Jordan 35 has the same tongue almost as the Jordan 5, and then this ankle collar area is very reminiscent of the Jordan 5 as well. And then also, it's not as it's not as apparent, I guess, but this right here is also supposed to be kind of like the netting that's featured on the Jordan 5, and that's actually on the toe box area as well. You can see this netting right here, and it has some really cool aspects that call out to the Jordan 5. But outside of that, just in terms of the material usage on the shoe, the materials are very premium, and I would definitely expect it to be premium, especially for the price point of the shoe. But in terms of the materials, the Jordan 35 has really great materials. So moving on to the fit, if you guys are slightly wide footers like me, I personally went true to size and it felt okay. I could definitely see some people having issues though, because depending on how wide your feet actually is, you may have some issues, just because, I did have a little bit of 4-foot pressure right here, but also this Eclipse plate comes up really high, and you can actually feel it kind of digging in on like the medial side of the shoe over here. And it's not terrible compared to like the Curry 5. You know, the Curry 5 was really bad and it gave me an excruciating amount of pain. But in the Jordan 35, I wouldn't say it's as bad, but you can definitely feel the Eclipse plate like pressing up against your like arch of your foot, or where the arch of your foot should be. So just keep that in mind. If you guys have flat feet, you may just want to stay away from the shoe, because yeah, this Eclipse plate is definitely very prominent and you can definitely feel it. Slightly wide footers, you should be good going true to size. Lengthwise, it's fine. But yeah, wide footers to hella wide footers, definitely be cautious in the shoe, because you may run into some problems. Outside of the Eclipse plate like issue, I wouldn't really call it issue because it's not gonna be for everyone, but for me, it was an issue. But yeah, outside of that, you know, the fit is really nice. I feel like the materials do lie very nicely over your feet, and also in the back, you have like a lot of padding back here, and it feels really amazing as well. Overall, I would say that the fit is really nice. Just be cautious of that Eclipse plate and some forefoot pressure right here if you guys do have wider feet. So moving on to the support, the Jordan 35 has really great support. I didn't have any issues whatsoever. This thing does have an internal heel counter and I didn't have any heel slippage, and I attribute that to the overall sculpt of the heel area. On top of that, like I mentioned, you do have these really nice Achilles pillows that just really locks in your foot to make sure it's not going anywhere. Up in the forefoot area, I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed, and you know, they are using very premium materials, which helps with that containment. And not only that, but in terms of like lateral support, you know, this thing has got you covered. The Eclipse plate does come up pretty high and you actually sit inside of the portion of the Eclipse plate. So you are definitely locked in. You aren't gonna have any problems. The only thing about the Jordan 35 is the fact that the base of the shoe isn't necessarily the widest, but personally, I thought it was more than enough to make sure that I didn't have any instability issues on any sort of movements that I was making. And you know, when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, this thing has got you covered, because this Eclipse plate, you can see it. It's right here, it's rigid, it's got you covered. The Jordan 35 has really nice support. The Jordan 35 retails for $180, and that is a very steep price point. You know, it's almost as much as LeBron. But yeah, you know, in terms of the performance, this is a really nice shoe. If you guys are playing on those dustier courts though, you will run into some issues with the traction unless you maintain those wipes. But everything else about the shoe was freaking amazing. I loved it. The materials are really nice. The support is awesome. The fit is great, except, you know, maybe if you're a really wide footer, you may run into those issues, or a flat footer as well. You may run into those issues regarding the Eclipse plate. But yeah, outside of that, the Jordan 35 is one hell of a performer. It is an extremely fun shoe to play in, and the cushion in the Jordan 35 is really nice. The implementation of that forefoot zoom unit and heel zoom unit go really well together, and they did a really amazing job. Like the zoom in the forefoot feels very zoomy, and if you guys like that zoom air, this has definitely got you covered. The Jordan 35, outside of that, you know, the traction is an extremely great performer, and if you all don't mind wiping, then I would highly suggest you all pick up a pair. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also smash that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. While you guys are at it, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.